2026 is fastly approaching and there are so many games that I would love to see. Now first off, we're gonna be predicting throughout the year. It's going to be some predictions and just straight up games that I would love to see. And I will not be mentioning any new games because new games are trickier. Now I could sit here and say, we're going to be seeing a brand new Legend of Zelda game, we're going to be seeing another Mario game, a Kirby game, and so many other games. So let's stick to tradition and go remasters and remakes. Anyways, let's get straight into it. Okay. So one thing that I would love to see is Pokemon. So starting off with two Pokemon games that I would love to see in 2026. First off, it's gotta go to Pokemon Heart Gold and Soul Silver. Now these are two games that I really love, and I think it would make a great connection on Nintendo Switch and Nintendo Switch 2, allowing players to go back to those original states and just try Pokemon out once again. If you were there during that era, you'll know how much fun there is to be had, and playing it on the big screen would be even greater. And another game that I would love to see is Pokemon Black and White 2. Now I'm just naming off the greatest Pokemon games, but hear me out. If we go back to tradition, we see the original Pokemon game, the original style, you could bring so many players back. Imagine that. See some sort of double pack of Heart Gold and Soul Silver and a double pack of Black and White 2, having two games in one would be really cool. So hopefully we see something like that. Moving over to The Legend of Zelda. Now the Legend of Zelda series definitely is a very interesting thing, and games that we could see and games that I want to see, it all has to go with The Legend of Zelda: A Link Between Worlds. Now this game right here is honestly my favorite Legend of Zelda game, and I think maybe I could just be biased with that game because I wanted to see it, or is it because there were not missing too many Legend of Zelda games who have every single Legend of Zelda game on Nintendo Switch 1 and 2. And another game that we're missing is Twilight Princess. So hopefully we see both of these games return to Nintendo Switch. But I'm not done with The Legend of Zelda. I would love to see the DS Legend of Zelda games. What I mean by that is Phantom Hourglass and Spirit Tracks. Now although these were sort of strange Legend of Zelda games, they were still really fun, and the Nintendo Switch would make a great game have an even greater life on the system. Now moving over to Kirby. Kirby is a very interesting one. I love Kirby games, and I still haven't gotten my favorite two Kirby games on the system. Or should I say, my favorite one and my second favorite. Kirby Triple Deluxe and Planet Robobot. Now these are two fantastic Kirby games, and seeing these games on Nintendo Switch 1 and 2 would be a dream come true. We've been seeing a lot of leaks and rumors about these games, but for now let's just stick to games that hopefully we can see. These games have a lot in common with just Kirby as a whole. It really brings out the joy that I feel playing video games as a whole. And honestly, they can do a lot of things to these games to improve them in so many different ways. Now I think that Kirby Triple Deluxe is a great game because it gives you a lot of different game modes. And you can have an online functionality with these game modes, like the battle that you were able to fight between Kirbys. And you can have maybe an online leaderboard for the DDD drum game mode. Any game mode could probably have an online leaderboard just to test out your skills and play with other players. Anyways, this would be really awesome. Now, moving over to Super Mario. Now this time around, there's not really many Super Mario games that I would like to see. Well, of course, there's only a couple games that we are missing on the Nintendo Switch 1 and 2 for 3D Mario. Okay, so for 3D Mario, I would love to see Super Mario 3D Land. Now I think that this game honestly is a really fantastic game. It takes, for me, everything that I'd like to see from a 3D linear Mario game. I really do enjoy this game. I think the puzzles are great, and seeing it on Nintendo Switch 1 and 2 would be great because that is honestly the only game that we're missing. Now you could say we are missing Super Mario 64 DS, but that's still technically Super Mario 64. Okay, so moving on to 2D Mario. Now, there is a couple 2D Mario that I would like to see, like New Super Mario Bros. Wii. I think that that game really is great. I really love it, and I hope that we see that triple pack that we're supposedly going to be getting. like the new Super Mario Bros. 2 and the new Super Mario Bros. 1 on the DS, those 3 games together would make a dream come true. Now, of course, it's not a party without GameCube games. Now, GameCube games are honestly really fantastic, and for 2026, I would hope to see Mario Kart Double Dash. Now, Mario Kart Double Dash is a really great game. And it's kind of strange that we didn't see Mario Kart Double Dash yet. You really would have thought that Nintendo would have released Mario Kart Double Dash at some point, but maybe they just wanted to keep all the attention on Mario Kart World. Now this does make a lot of sense, but when you think about it, Mario Kart Double Dash would be a fun game to play, and especially if they make it do online, so you can play online in Mario Kart Double Dash. Now speaking of online with games from the GameCube era, Super Smash Bros. Melee. Now we know that we're not getting a new Super Smash Bros. Game in a long time, so why not Super Smash Bros. Melee? Just think about it. Just being able to play this in 2026 would be honestly really awesome and really fun. It would make you feel like you're back in the early 2000s, just getting your GameCube out and playing some really fun games. Now, I could sit here and talk all day about different GameCube games, but these are honestly the main ones that I want to see. Now, you might be asking, hey, where's the Legend of Zelda Wind Waker HD or 4K? I thought you wanted that game. Yeah, I think it would be great, but there is definitely a lot of games that can be pushed out before that game. I honestly want to see that game. Hopefully I can see that game, because the only real reason to play this game is on the Wii U, the only game that hasn't been ported over. Anyways, that would be really great. Now honestly, there's a couple games that I haven't mentioned yet, and honestly they are my favorite games probably ever. Going over to third-party games. What do you mean, favorite games ever? These are third-party games you talk about Nintendo all the time. Now, hear me out. This is a long story that I probably can't go over just in this matter of time. But my favorite games are honestly from Activision. I know Activision, Skylanders. Now, Skylanders I hope to see in 2026 on Nintendo Switch 1 and 2. So far, we only have one game, but what about the 5 other games that aren't on this system? That'd be really great to see a remaster of every single game, and I have a great idea on how they could do that. They could literally just take the games, port them over, remaster them, there you go, you got a remaster of them. How would the Portal and toys go? Are they going to start reselling toys for a higher price now because of inflation and everything else that's going on? No, hold on to your horses. I think that there is definitely another way to do this, is by when you play missions, you get coins, and with these coins you can buy Skylanders, and these games would all be interconnected, so if you buy, let's just say, Spyro from the first game, well then you can use Spyro in Giants, and you can use Spyro in every other game. They'd be connected in many different ways, it'd be added to your inventory, and there you go. But for those of us who still have the Portal and the toys, well then you just get a Portal and you can just put all your toys down. That'd be really awesome and the best way to do it, because there you go. Skylanders is honestly an awesome and amazing game. Recently I've been jumping back into Skylander on the Xbox 360, and I think that it's definitely a bunch of fun, but seeing it in a higher quality that's not 480p would be really amazing. Now, third-party games that aren't Skylanders. I would love to see some Xbox games, and that indeed would be Forza Horizon 5. Now this game right here is honestly another one of my favorite games, because it's just fun and simple. It's just a game that you shut your brain off and drive a car around. Because why not? I know I have a bunch of different favorite games, but this would be cool. Halo would be awesome as well, because we are supposed to be getting a brand new Halo game, or should we say a remastered Halo game, that there's been a lot of speculations about seeing this on Nintendo Switch 1 and 2. So imagine that, seeing Halo, Forza Horizon 6 would be cool. And honestly, I would love to see a bunch of these different games. Clair Obscur Expedition 33, that would be another great game to see on Nintendo Switch 1 and 2. The Switch 2 is definitely as powerful to run some of these games. All you have to do is compress some textures, and there you go. It would run perfectly seamlessly. So hopefully we see something like that. Now I've pretty much covered all the games that I would really love to see. But there's still one, or should we say a little couple missing, that I've played, enjoyed, and hopefully we could see it. Now, in terms of Switch 2 editions, Now these are additions that you might like them, you might hate them, but some of them might need a Switch 2 edition. Like imagine Super Smash Bros. Now this would revive Super Smash Bros. And add some characters that we haven't necessarily seen. Now Super Smash Bros. Ultimate definitely is a very packed game, pretty much completed to the bones and down, but hey, it would be really cool to see some sort of Nintendo Switch 2 edition, a game that runs at 4K 60, 4K 120, who knows, it would be really interesting to see something like that. Now jumping over to DLCs, there's definitely a bunch of different DLCs that I would like to see. Hopefully they're not too expensive. One of them would be Mario Kart World. Now Mario Kart World is a very interesting one. We know that Nintendo has been updating the game, so does this mean a DLC? I think it does, and I think that it would be great to see because then the game would be back to life once again. It would be so awesome, allowing you to have maybe different game modes, islands, or something like that. They could add something like the Isles of Armor DLC from Pokemon Sword and Shield, where there's a completely separate island towards the DLC. Maybe you could take a plane there, and there you go. You got yourself an awesome DLC ready for you in Mario Kart World. Different island, different challenges, and maybe even game modes. That'd be really interesting. Another thing that I would like to see, and I've been saying this for a long time, is the Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. Now, Tears of the Kingdom is honestly one of my favorite games. I know, favorite games, really, how many favorite games could you have? But this one, I would love to see like a Dark Souls Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, because that would be really awesome. Like the hero mode that we got in Breath of the Wild, but into Tears of the Kingdom, so then you have that challenge for those of us who wanted a super hard game. Maybe the Legend of Zelda ain't that, but I think it definitely is a challenge going into hero mode. Maybe that you don't heal, or maybe just the enemies are stronger, your weapons don't break, who knows, whatever the case may be, that would be really interesting. Now, I wanted to mention this right here. This is something that I don't necessarily think it's ever going to happen, but more just a game that I straight up want. Now, jumping over to the Wii era. I know, the Wii. There's two actually games that I really want to see from the Wii era. Well, the first thing is Wii Sports. Now, Wii Sports is honestly the greatest game ever. It's so fantastic, and we did get Nintendo Switch Sports, but it didn't hit the same as Wii Sport, the classic, easy, simple game where you can pretty much give someone a controller and say, hey, try this, you're going to play some bowling. It's really awesome in that way. And the next game that I want to say is Mario Kart Wii. Now, Mario Kart Wii is such a great game, and hopefully we can see its return. In 2026, we definitely are going to be getting some great games. Like Pokemon Pokopia, we're also going to be seeing Pokemon Champions, probably Winds and Waves, a big potential of seeing the Ocarina of Time remaster, remake, whatever the case may be. Also a higher chance of seeing Twilight Princess. And we can't forget about some other games, like potentially Kirby. But overall, this has been my list, and a fun list. Hopefully we get any of these. Please come back to this video in 2020 or December of 2026 telling me did I get it right or wrong. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed, and consider to let me know your list of games that you would like to see a remaster or remake. You could even throw in some new games as well, but hey, new games are definitely very interesting to say the least. You can definitely name every single new game if you wanted to. If we were speaking about new games, I would say I would like to see a new Legend of Zelda game, maybe a brand new Mario game, and a Kirby game. We gotta throw all those games in. We're probably going to be getting a new Pokemon game, Winds and Waves, but overall, it's really exciting. Nintendo Switch 2 is going to probably shine in 2026. Anyways, thank you so much. That being said, I hope that you have the wonderfulest Christmas. Merry Christmas to you and all. And with that being said, have a fantastic day and see you in the next one.